So people, yeah, I'm Blue and I'm back again. It's Blue's book. In my first video, I talked about my documentary to Zuma Rock. Yeah, I was able to unleash some of the truth about Zuma Rock, which is very fascinating for myself and of course for my viewers, because I had a lot of updates. But then I promised that my channel isn't going to be only about my books and my travels. I'm a very academic person and I love to share knowledge, so that's why I'm driving back to what I've been doing a lot since 2023, the year that just passed. So I've been researching a lot about scholarships, how to write essays, and how to apply for these scholarships. Not just how to apply for them, how to win it. So what I did first off was I didn't share these ideas immediately because I have to be sure that what I'm going to share to you works. I'm sharing it now because I've actually been given a scholarship and an admission into the University of Glasgow, but that is not enough. So there's an exciting news, but I'm not jumping on it yet because the idea and the knowledge I'm about to share to you now, I'm hoping that before March or February this year, I should be showing you more receipts of 2 to 3 more admissions and scholarships. Yes, I'm serious about it. So now, if you're also someone that wants to win scholarships and you want to go out there in Europe and you want to do it seamlessly at a go, here at the right place, because here I'm not just sharing some theories, I'm being practical. I wrote these essays after numerous of research trainings. Yeah, I went through trainings and I did my research before I arrived at this point I am in now. So that is why I'm sharing it with you. So now if you're ready, let's move. Now, first of all, I want to say before you apply for a scholarship, let me not just say scholarship, before you apply for a school abroad, there's certain things you need to get. Now, basically, I'm going to be focusing on people that want to apply for postgraduate studies because that is what I applied for. So if you want to go for postgraduate studies, now, there are some basics. You don't just wake up and you want to apply for schools. There's some things you need to have. Why I'm saying this is because when you jump on it, you might just find out that you just create those accounts and then you don't have things to fill up. Like when they ask you for your degree certificate, you don't even have it. When they ask you for your transcript, you don't have it. When they ask you for some other documents, you don't have it. So now, first of all, what I'm going to drill you on this video today is those documents that you need to go gather. I mean, this is January. I'm saying it because the year just started, so it means that if you have a goal, you should start now to put it into place. Most offices are going to be opening up soon, like school offices. So it means that if you really want to go to the Europe this year, you should start making plans of getting these documents. So now let's dive in. First of all, for you to apply for postgraduate studies, you should be a graduate. Yes, you should have acquired a bachelor's degree. Yeah, at most you should be a graduate. That's what qualifies you basically for a postgraduate studies. And if you don't have this, then it means you should be looking into bachelor's courses. Yeah, because let me believe I'm talking to people that have graduated from the university. At least you graduated last year. Yeah, you should have graduated in 2023. Now, if you have graduated, first of all, what you need to do, you should go get your degree certificate. You need to apply for it because trust me, nobody is going to look at your postgraduate application if you don't have a degree certificate. They always ask you, that's the evidence. And I mean, it should be authentic. Mark the word, you shouldn't go do some forgery stuff, go to cut corners. Anybody can see this video. Nobody should go and get a false document because now that alone disqualifies you. Now you think these schools, they don't make the inquiries? They do. So what I would tell you is to go to your school and pick your original degree certificate. Now, I don't know, the processes are different, but in my school, the way I got mine was the admissions. You have to clear up all your school stuff, your school fees and everything. And before you get your degree certificate, they would have given you your statement of results, which shows that you actually passed. You had maybe a first class, second class, upper, second class, lower, or a pass. You should be able to have your statement of results before you go for your degree certificate, because some schools it takes a longer time. So that's what I'm talking about it now, because it's better you start. They say make the hay while the sun shines. So you need to start putting this in plan because it might take time, it might take 1, 2, 3 months. So it's better you start now. I think mine took up to 3 months before I got my degree certificate. Yeah, so now you already know that these things don't come fast, so it means you have to be ready. You need to prepare beforehand. So that's what I'm talking about it now. The year just started. Go and start making applications for your degree certificate because you will need it for your postgraduate studies. Now let's talk about the second one. The second thing I want to talk about is your transcript. Yes, very, very important. Trust me, you can't do any postgraduate application without your transcript because transcript is as important as your degree certificate. Now, your degree certificate shows that you graduated from the school. Now, the transcript makes the school know, okay, how good were you? Did you pass your courses? What was your grade? what kind of courses did you take? Are they, in line with the course you want to study? They want to see your transcript. They want to see what your grades looks like. And now this is where it comes in that when you are in school, you shouldn't just, focus on graduating. You should focus on the little things because they matter. When I mean little things, you should focus on each course. I mean, like, you should be able to pass and make good grades in each course, because now these are the things that distinguishes you or gives you a higher advantage in terms of scholarships and admissions. Nobody wants to admit people that have been having F's in most of their courses, or people that just go with D. So you should be able to have A's and B's. That is why you should pay attention when you are in school. I know a lot of people tell me it doesn't matter. I had that kind of incident when I was in school. Like, people didn't really care, they just wanted to have the degree. But now, when you know that you want to pursue something higher after university, you should focus on it, because now that your university degree is what gives you tickets to what you want to achieve later. So now you should focus on your grades, because that's what your transcript does for you. It records those grades. If you had carryovers, trust me, it will be there. So now you should get your transcript from your school. Now you also apply through the admissions, the exams and record. It might be from the faculty, the department. So I'm just talking about from my own experience, how I got my own transcript. And like I said, the degree certificate takes time. Also, the transcript takes time. You should apply for it beforehand. If you want to apply this year or next year, this is the time to start applying for these documents. Get your transcripts ready. Now, the next important document is your international passport. Trust me, I don't know, how do you want to leave the country without an international passport? That's like your passport to the world. So you should go get your international passport. It's as important as any other of your academic documents. So if you're in Nigerian, you can apply in the immigration offices. So other countries, you know where to apply. Now you need your international passport, because most of these schools, when you get the admission, they will help you to get your student visa. They give you the documents that certifies that you've been given admission. They put your passport numbers there, which helps you to apply for your visa. So you have to get your international passport ready. At least your international passport should have at least 1 year before it expires. That's what I mean. So you can just do 5 years, 10 years if you have the money, but you should have your international passport. The third document is the IELTS and the proof of English language proficiency. Well, as a Nigerian, the good thing is we qualify for most countries and for most institutions as an English speaking country. So now that's a plus for us, because we study in English. Like, I don't think I did any of my primary, secondary, or tertiary education in any other language. You understand? Although we have our local language, but I did all my studies in English. Even to an extent, I started learning foreign languages. Like, I learned French. Yeah, bonjour. Yeah, I learned French too. So, but basically, our official language in Nigeria is English. So, there's a way, the perception they have about Africa, that we don't speak English. I don't know, that's like their perception. But now we have to let them know that, oh, we speak English very well. Although maybe it might not be their Queen's English, or their US English, or the Australian English, whatever. But we have our Nigerian English. So we speak English and we understand English properly. So it gives Nigerians the edge that some schools are able to waive them off from the English language proficiency, because trust me, these things are expensive. Yeah, like the IELTS. At December, I wanted to book for an IELTS exam. I had a prior to that time, it was around 99,000. So by the time I wanted to book it, it was 107,000 naira. Yeah, so it keeps getting higher. So I know that this present time it might be higher. So now these are the things, the complications. Is there a lot of money for someone that wants to do other stuff, get international passports, pay for application fees, any extra cost? If you can avert it, then you should. Because apart from the cost, I think another thing is people are also scared of, you can fail that exam. It doesn't mean if you can speak English or not, you can fail it. And it doesn't make sense, because the money just wasted. And it doesn't still qualify you for, because the score, if you didn't score up to 6.0, 6.5, or 7.0, depending on what the school requires, you won't be qualified. So it becomes a waste, like the money you spend. And this is why I prefer to use the letter of English proficiency, which is okay. I will tell you how to get this letter. This letter, apparently, like I said, you can get your transcript from your school, your degree certificate from your school. You can get the English letter of proficiency from your school also. You can go to the exams and record, or the registrar. They can write you a letter proving that in this school, our language of educating students is English. So they can also highlight that this student passed the use of English, which means if you studied for 3-4 years in English language, trust me, you are qualified as an English speaker. And if you also make good grades from school, so I don't know the reason why they wouldn't accept you as an English speaker. So now that letter from your school to your school letterhead can also work in place of your IELTS and other English proficiency. And this is the letter you need to get. So if you know you're not ready to write IELTS, you don't have the money, and you don't want to risk it, as you're applying for these documents, the transcripts, your degree certificate, you should also apply for it from your university. Some schools is free. So you should just get it. I feel like it's your right, you're entitled to it. So you should get this document and keep it too. Because trust me, it's going to be handy. I used it too. Now the next thing is your academic CV. Wow. Academic CV. I'm going to do a video academic CV. I learned something over time because before my first application since 2023, I was served breakfast. So that was an eye opener for me because I was so confident that I did so well in my academic CV. Yeah, I was so confident that it was good. So by the time I wasn't admitted, I had to send email to the admissions committee. I was like, why didn't you people accept me? Like, I felt so confident. But they told me there were reasons why I wasn't accepted because there were better qualified people. So maybe I should apply next year, which is 2024. That was the beginning of this whole journey, because I have to go back to my drawing board. So now your academic CV is a very powerful document. And if you don't have one, you have to. So I'm going to do a video on how to write a very strong academic CV. Keep it in mind. Now, another strong document is your recommendation letters. Yes, you have to have strong recommend because this school, they want to be sure that they are admitting the best students. I mean, what distinguishes you apart from your grades? Maybe you have a 2-1 first class. Trust me, there are a lot of other people that has that good grades. You need to get strong recommendations from a lecturer that you're very close to. You can also send these lecturers an email, like an idea of what you want, or you give them a template. It helps you because most of these lecturers, they don't know what you've been up to, they don't know the researches you've done, they know the publications you've done. Maybe they just know you within the time frame you were in school. And trust me, they don't pay so much attention to most students because the department is so crowded, like 500 students or more in each level. So like, how many people do you want the lecturer to know personally? Myself, I never had a personal relationship with any lecturer, so I don't think they knew me personally. I know some other people might be in that shit, but if you have a lecturer that knew you personally, this is awesome because they can do you that favor and write you a very strong recommendation. But then if you don't have, you can suggest to them a template. If you're someone that have not worked before, you might just do 2 academic reference. But personally, I'm going to recommend 1 academic and 1 professional recommendation because most scholarship schools will prefer 1 professional and 1 academic. So two academics is okay, but it's very few that will tell you 2 professional is in the sense that you've left school for a very long time, like someone that left school since 10 years or more. I mean, you don't expect the person to have lecturers that can still remember much about them. So it means the person has already been in the labor market, and that's where they can get a very strong recommendation. But why I suggest you do 1 professional and 1 academic is because the academic talks about your academic strength, your academic part, the things you did in school, how well you are, your enlightenment, the way your research, your grades, how you're able to associate with your fellows. Now, the professional CV talks about your other life that is out of school. It's important for these schools to know that you excel both in and outside of the school. You're not just good in the school or just good in the office. You're good in the school and outside the school. You're very balanced and a professional, and in school you're excellent. Now, it gives you this balance that gives you an edge, more opportunity to students assistantships, and they know that they can work with you because you have been in that field. We should be looking at the professional and academic recommendations. These are 2 I recommend, and that's what I use. Make sure they put in a good word for you. Interesting. And this is my favorite, the motivational letter and the statement of purpose. Trust me, this is a powerful document. It could make or mar your whole application. Yes, if you don't know how to communicate your ideas, if you don't know how to express yourself, most schools might not look at you. Even though most of these documents I talked about, they're very powerful, they assist in your application, but most schools, they want to look at that motivational letter or the statement of purpose because that's where the school comes in itself. That's where you talk about the school, that's where you talk about your passion, that's where you talk about your interest, that's where you talk about your dreams, that's where you talk about the zeal behind this course. What is pushing you? What is the interest? What is the problem you want to solve? What change do you want to make? Then you talk about the schools personally. Why are you attracted to this school? Why is it this school? Why did you choose any other school from the thousands of schools out there? Why is it the school? Why is it that course? Now this is very important because that is where the school hears from you, even without seeing you. Now, I'm going to make a whole awesome video on this motivational letter and statement of purpose. Apparently that was the first video I wanted to make, but I felt like I need to start somewhere. You shouldn't miss that video for anything because I'm not just going to tell you about this motivational letter and how to write. I'm going to also share my own story for you. So I'm looking forward to sharing those ones with you. The next document is your research proposal, which is not always mandatory depending on the course because there are graduate thoughts and graduate research courses. So usually if you're applying for a postgraduate, that is master's, if it's taught, you don't need a research proposal. If it's a research, then you need, but basically if it's a PhD, then it's a must, you need a research proposal. Those problems you highlighted in your motivational letter and statement of purpose. Now, the problems are supposed to be related to the course you want to study. First of all, when you talk about these problems, you should be able to know the ideas how do you intend to solve it? What kind of research are you going to make to solve these problems? I'm just giving you an example what it looks like. So you have to talk about the procedures. It's a whole different topic on its own. I think I'm going to make a video soon on research proposal. Last but not the least, you should have publications. Yeah, why I talk about publications is in the case that maybe you didn't have a very solid grade, maybe you didn't graduate your first class, second class, upper. You know that a lot of people come out with that, so you should have publications. So these publications, articles, are just going to help you strengthen your application, because it shows that even if you were not so good in school, but out there you really discovered yourself and you're trying to make an impact out there. So these publications, articles, it could be published in WordPress, on LinkedIn, anywhere, maybe in magazines, also publish with people. It's important that you did something. It could also be a very good advantage to your application. Before I end, I'm just going to say you should pray. Yeah, you should have faith. Trust me, in everything that we do, if we don't back it up with prayers, I don't know, it might just be like the saying, if God doesn't protect a city, the watchmen watch it in vain. So if God don't support you, you might put up the perfect application and then you wouldn't get anywhere. It happened to me. And why I'm saying you should pursue, God helps you apply for the right school at the right time. You need God, the God factor, your faith. So I'm just going to encourage anybody that is pushing for these applications, scholarships, and admissions this year. In everything that you do, as you gather the documents, put God there. You shouldn't miss it. I'm looking forward to see you in my next video or interacting with you. So don't forget to drop your comments, your suggestions, your ideas in the comment section, and subscribe my channel. You're going to be loaded with a lot. See you. Thanks for watching.